Now there's a vacuum. And now you have to fill that with something. Now you got to fill that hole. That's what she said. The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised. What's going on, fam? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with some more nuts on yo chin. Thank you so much for being here. Are you new? You look like you might be new. Make sure to smash that subscribe button because I'm dropping a salty ball bag right on your chin every single day. If you're a dude and you're like, I don't want a salty ball bag on my chin. Of course you do. You just don't know it yet. Trust me, you're gonna like it. But if you just get a little bit too parched, if you just like, your mouth gets a little bit dry and you need your thirst quenched, make sure you go and check out Extra Thirsty, a brand new Knowledge Cock Network especial for all the trending juice over on the Daily Swole channel. Links down below and in the related channels. Go subscribe to the Daily Swole for Extra Thirsty all day, every day. Go and subscribe, come right back, watch this. You know how we do it. I'll put a link in the description too. And also you can check out all the links for the free classes, SwoleNormousX.com for the nutrition, training, meditation, all the stuff that I talk about in the description. Go and check out it all. Below the beard, but above the sack. Below the beard, but above the sack. This video, this hair is ridiculous. This video is about binge eating. This video is about weight loss surgery, but even more so, this video is about not making the mental changes that are really the most necessary for that lifelong change. A lot of people today are looking for that quick fix. They always have. People haven't always been looking for that magic elixir, right? But even more so, people forget that there's a lot more to weight loss and health than just, oh, I'm in a caloric deficit. Oh, I'm going to the gym now. Oh, I bought a fat burner. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it when you have temptation after temptation after temptation. When I cover people here, when I cover these face fuckers like Trisha Paytas, like Nico Cotto, like Foodie Beauty, like Amberlynn, people that just keep on fucking eating. Eric the Electric, his exercise bulimia, over-exercising and overeating, justifying that binging and purging. You see it all the time with fitness people. You see it all the time with the 25,000 calorie challenges from Matt Does Fitness and all these fucking fake. Everyone is just fucking face because it gets views. People are living vicariously through what they see on YouTube. And that's our community. Whatever you're watching on YouTube, you're watching this, I'm your community. I'm your environment. I am what you're surrounding yourself with. I'm what you're listening to. I'm what you're watching. You're welcome. It's fucking hair. This is information. You can only consume information in so many ways. You can read things, you can watch things, you can listen to things, right? This fucking hair, I swear. I'm putting it on this side. It doesn't go left well. Come on, man. Get the fucking hair, bro. Your community and your environment is who and what you surround yourself with. So this example that we're going to talk about today shows how it's not that simple. You can't just do a snip and all of a sudden you lose all this weight and your life changes. You can't just start a new diet and have all that change. It has to be all the areas of your life. It has to be the 7 pillars. Now, if you don't know what the 7 pillars are, click the link below for SwoleNormousX.com and download your free copy. It's at the top of the page. I'll go through it right now. It's community, nutrition, training. It's also recovery, mobility, mindfulness, and consistency. Okay, those are the 7 pillars of Swolenormous. And again, you can go and download for the details. So this post inside the Swole Fam community is from Victoria. So I want to read this to you and then I want to break it down and kind of go over this because a lot of you are either dealing with this or have dealt with it because it goes very deep. It goes very deep and you'll see how much you have to unpack and how much you have to relay the foundation psychologically when it comes to making these changes. So Victoria says, "Hi fam, just dropping in to say hi. I'm Vicky, a newbie, super excited to really commit to the program and to be held accountable. I made the decision to have weight loss surgery about a year ago, and I thought my life was going to change. I lost 80 pounds incredibly fast, and I was feeling great. However, I didn't address any of the mental challenges that caused the initial weight gain or the horrible eating habits and unhealthy relationship with food that got me to almost 300 pounds. Now, I feel that my addiction to sugar is worse than before surgery. And although I can no longer binge, the tendency is still there along with this disordered mentality that needs to stop. I think the mindset that continually leads me to failure is the idea that I can still consume the processed garbage that I've become dependent on in moderation. But much like an alcoholic or any other addict, that is just not possible. I got rid of all the processed foods in the house, which turned out to be very helpful because last night, the binge monster woke me up demanding sugar to no avail. I weighed in this morning at 232 pounds, which is devastating because I was 205 pounds last summer. This 30 pounds has to go. Yesterday was day 1 of the 90-day DASH program, and the cravings were pretty unbearable. Any tips on how to deal with the debilitating sugar cravings when getting started? There's a lot to unpack here, so I'm just gonna touch on a couple different points. One, surgery is not a magic fix. It doesn't change your habits. I've said this so many times. I am not a fan of weight loss surgery in most instances. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it can be beneficial, but more often than not, it is just a temporary thing that just leads to a rebound because you can stretch your stomach back out. You're not changing those negative habits. You're still eating crappy food. You're just eating less quantity of them. So it doesn't necessarily change any habits aside from just, oh, I can't eat quite as much or I might rip my stomach open, okay? I physically can't eat so much. So it's actually limiting you and restricting you. So now you can't necessarily consume sufficient calories. You might lose a lot of weight, but what about the food quality? What about your training? What about your mobility? What about your meditation? What about all the other pillars of Swolenormous that you're missing, right? Which is why Vicky, has found herself today inside the Swole fam. So again, welcome Vicky. I'm glad you're here. You're in the right place. And this is a great example. So I appreciate you sharing. So now she feels like her addiction to sugar is worse than before surgery. Now these things are very physical, but they're also very psychological. So there's a lot to unpack and there's a lot of nuances here that I don't know about her life. So I'm just kind of posing a couple different scenarios and just to get you all thinking about it, and you could all drop a comment down below with your thoughts and your experiences. But Vicky also has to look at her habits relative to like who she's surrounding herself with, what her other triggers are for craving sugar. Is it just a caloric deficit and she requires more food? Is it the food quality that she needs to change? Is it the hydration? Is it stress? Is it sleep that are causing cravings? I mean, there's other things that can lead to like ridiculous sugar cravings, not to mention she's an addict. Vicky, you're an addict and you're admitting it, which is great. That's one of the most important things, is to take responsibility. So getting all that crap out of your house, that makes sense. But those cravings, that's normal. That's gonna happen. So it's about creating better habits and better systems and replacing that, because that's a vacuum. There's a void. When you remove that trigger, when you remove that comfort, now there's a vacuum. And now you have to fill that with something. Now you gotta fill that hole. That's what she said. Now you gotta feel that emptiness. You gotta fill that emptiness. And a lot of times people fill up boredom with eating. So then you associate watching TV with eating, or hanging out with certain people and eating, or going on the porch and eating this, or going out and getting a piece of pizza, or eating ice. You see what I'm saying? That's why all the celebrations and all the hangouts, it revolves around food and drinking calories. A lot of what we do as humans, we just link these triggers with other habits, and we stack and layer all these fucking stupid, terrible habits to the point where we can't even tease it out. We can't even see for ourselves where the actual breaking points are, or where the actual foundation is, because it's so layered, if that makes sense. Because it's not just the physical craving of sugar that your body is like, hey, we need sugar, we're used to sugar. What about exhaustion? That's another aspect that could be causing you sugar cravings. What about your habits of hanging out with, let's say, your friend Jeanette? You always go and get pizza on Sundays. So now, you're hanging out with her and you have this like subconscious craving for food because you're used to hanging out and talking with her and drinking something or eating something. We create these habits and we don't realize how strong they are. And this is where meditation can really come in handy. If you're meditating and practicing being more mindful, it can help you walk through these sensitive touch points and actually be more aware of when they occur and why they occur, and start to undo this and start to rework them. Now, when it comes to waking up in the middle of the night with sugar cravings, it's quite possible that you're not eating sufficient enough calories or sufficient types of food during the day. Maybe you're not hydrating enough. Maybe it's malnutrition. Maybe you need to increase certain macronutrients that will help assuage the cravings. And also maybe it's just something you have to work through, but that's why you have community. That's why you have the Swole Fam. And I definitely can't just answer that for you, how to crush those cravings, waking up in the middle of the night, because I've never had binge eating to that point where I've woken up and I just have to eat the world. I've never been morbidly obese, and thankfully so. I work my ass off so I'm not. But that's why I want all of you fam, all of you watching, to help Vicky and to drop your comment down below with your personal experience, because there's all these little hacks, like maybe a teaspoon of raw honey at night can maybe quell sugar cravings. But then for some people that might trigger it. You know, some people it's drink a big glass of water with some lemon and go to sleep earlier. Maybe Vicky has to work super late and she's going to be chronically exhausted, which is always going to trigger these sugar cravings. So there could be other things going on here, and I don't want to assume, because I want to provide the most help and I don't want to be discouraging, but I really want Vicky to understand that this is a day by day thing. This is a moment by moment thing. And with practicing meditation, I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh, come on, Papa Swole, you always talk about meditation. Meditation isn't magic. No, it's not magic. It's hard fucking work. And it takes just ridiculous amounts of effort every day to practice your meditation. But what meditation does is it helps you live in the present. And if you're actually living in the present, moment to moment, it is much easier to handle nutrition. It's much easier to handle training. It's much easier to handle these life challenges if you're thinking about what's happening now. Right now, not what happened yesterday, not what happened 3 hours ago, not what may or may not happen tomorrow. We can't predict the future. Not what you have to do next week or next year, or all this weight loss, or oh my God, last summer I was 30 pounds lighter. Fuck last summer, Vicky. Fuck it. It's gone. You are where you are now. It doesn't matter where you were. It doesn't even matter where you're going. It matters what you're doing right now. And that's where meditation can really help people have major breakthroughs. It can help keep you from succumbing to those triggers, but it can also, even more importantly, help you notice what's important to execute on right now. And most of the time, it's training, focusing on what you need to prepare for your food, making sure you have what you need laid out, making sure you have your training schedule, your yoga schedule, all that stuff. And when it comes to what you said about starting the 90-day dash, you said pretty unbearable sugar cravings. What are you doing for nutrition? Are you doing the elimination diet and starting the 90-day dash at the same time? I mean, maybe adjusting some things here and there is more beneficial to you. I don't know what exactly you are eating. All you said is that you are having debilitating sugar cravings. So if you can drop some comments down below if you're watching this, Vicky, and I'm sure you probably already did by now inside the private Swole Fam group, but make sure if you're watching this, Vicky and anyone else, make sure you understand and really get analytical. Write down what you're consuming. Are you consuming enough? Are you consuming sufficient macronutrients? Is your quality high? Are you meditating? Are you practicing yoga? Are you setting aside time for these things? Are you doing it regularly and consistently? These are all aspects that are really important for health and changing your life. So Vicky, you're in the right fucking place. You are exactly where you need to be. Just don't give up on yourself and stop living in the past and the future. You have to live in the present. So thank you so much for watching. Vicky, thank you for sharing. I hope you watching this right now got a ton of value. This is Swolenormous, fitness without the bullshit, and I hope you enjoyed this salty sack right on your chin. You might not have liked what I said. It might have tickled you the wrong way, but fuck your feelings. It's about the fucking truth. It's about the work. It's about what really actually will make a difference in people's lives. So what are your thoughts? Drop a comment down below. And remember, if you're a little parched, if you're a little dehydrated, go and subscribe to the Daily Swole and check out some Extra Thirsty for all your thirst quenching needs. And remember to check out swolenormousx.com. If you want to join the Swole Fam, you can get started for less than $3. And if you want to upgrade, you can get all the programs, the full yoga studio, the full meditation center, the full nutrition recipe archive with all the lifestyle approaches, the elimination diet, the nutrition jumpstart manual, everything over at swolenormousx.com. And I'll see you fam real soon for some more nuts on your chin. Peace the fuck out.
We stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. Hey, y'all some jokers. cause you're a bunch of clowns. You will not get a laugh out of me. You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transferred to a new account? You just fucked over a prodigy. Posted up with a rented crown.
You are the king and apology.
You about to see a new side of me. I hope you know. We stand up and watch our enemy go. Empire fall, my legacy grows. I might just